Good morning, everybody. Dear Professor Fiebig, CEO of Volkswagen Saxony, dear Bob Scully, President of the IEEE EMC Society, dear members of the IEEE EMC Board of Directors, dear Mauro Feliciani, Chair of the International Steering Committee of EMC Europe, dear members of the IEEE of the EMC Europe International Steering Committee, dear authors, dear exhibitors, dear friends and colleagues. It's a special honor for me to warmly welcome you to the joint IEEE Symposium on Electromagnetic Compatibility and EMC Europe 2015 in the wonderful city of Dresden. Compared to other communities, the EMC community is a rather small community. Sometimes we appear more like a big family than an ordinary scientific community. And perhaps that's one reason for the big success of EMC Symposia. Today we will celebrate the opening of a very special EMC Symposium. For the first time, two of the major EMC Symposia, the IEEE Symposium on Electromagnetic Compatibility and EMC Europe, will team up for a joint event. For the first time, the main IEEE EMC Symposia, the August Symposium, will take place in Europe. The history of IEEE EMC Symposia reaches back to the IEEE EMC Symposium 1968 in Seattle, but it has forerunners back to the late 50s, like the Radio Frequency Interference Seminar in New York in 1959. Roots of EMC Europe are EMC Rome, starting in 1994, and the first European EMC conference, the Wroclaw Symposium, that was held biannually since 1972. Starting 2010, EMC Europe is a joint annual meeting named EMC Europe and an excellent example for the positive results of ending the Cold War in Europe. The history of a Dresden IEEE EMC Symposium reaches back to a rejected proposal by Karl-Heinz Gonczarek. And after I started my work here in Dresden in 2008, it was Frank Sabat, Heino Gabe, Jean-Luc Haseburg, and others who came up again with the idea of a Dresden IEEE EMC Symposium. This second proposal gets a positive vote from the Board of Directors, from the IEEE Board of Directors meeting in Fort Lauderdale in 2010, and I'm very thankful to the International Steering Committee of EMC Europe that decided to propose a joint meeting here in Dresden. Of course, a meeting like this wouldn't be possible without external sponsors, so I'm very grateful to our generous sponsors. We have two platinum sponsors, Amplifier Research and Word Electronics, gold sponsors, also two, Huawei and Rohde & Schwarz. We have 6 silver sponsors, Albatross Projects, Altair, Amitec, EMCS, ETS Lindgren, and Nolato, and 4 bronze sponsors, Airbus, Andro, Thales, and ThyssenKrupp. Additionally, I'd like to mention that the welcome reception in the Gläserne Manufaktur this evening is kindly supported by Volkswagen, and the gala dinner tomorrow evening in the Westin Bellevue by ETS Lindgren. The Wi-Fi in the conference center is partly supported by Altair. The complimentary public transportation included in any full registration is sponsored by Albatross Projects, and USB sticks for the proceedings are provided by Rohde & Schwarz. Finally, I'm very grateful to DHS Almea Tools for providing support for demo sessions in the exhibition hall. It's a long tradition that this conference is accompanied by a technical exposition. This year, we have about 75 companies and organizations presenting their products and services in the exhibition hall. The exhibition will open just after this session. Please take your time to visit the companies and look out for demos, experiments, and product presentation in the hall. Coffee break is also presented in the hall. Besides the technical program with oral and poster sessions, workshop and tutorials, and exhibition in the exhibition halls, demo sessions, and the Global University, other technical or normative sessions, we also provide a non-technical program. Today evening, as I already stated, starting at 6:30, the welcome reception will take place in the Volkswagen Gläserne Manufaktur, a unique assembly place for Volkswagen Phaeton and Bentley cars. Tomorrow evening, starting at 7 p.m., we will enjoy really good food and entertainment at the Gala Banquet in the Westin Bellevue ballroom just across the river. And please don't miss the awards lunch on Friday noon here in the conference center in the hall. Awards lunch reminds me on the very large number of excellent contributions that we received. Out of over 400 submissions, the technical program committee selected, using a two-stage review process, about 285 papers. All of these papers will be published on IEEE Explorer. All of these papers are first-class papers, regardless whether they are presented in an oral session or in a poster session. 13 of these papers have been elected as Best Symposium Paper finalist and are listed and marked in the final program. I'd like to say thank you to all our authors, to the reviewers, and to the program committee under the leadership of Heino Gabe and Frank Ronwald. We had a challenging time during the preparation of the symposium. The only reason that I can stand here now and welcome you to this great event is the excellent work of a wonderful and enthusiastic team. It is a great honor for me to be part of this team. I only can say thank you very much to all of you. A very special thank you goes to Hatice Altintas from VDE. As a member of VDE Conference Service, she had no connection to the EMC Society before, but I know that many of us already recognize her as an EMC family member. Thank you, Hatice. You did an excellent job. Where she is? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Before ending my speech, I'd like to announce our next speakers. We will have short welcome addresses by Bob Scully, President of IEEE EMC Society, and Mauro Feliciani, Chair of EMC Europe International Steering Committee. Both will give a short welcome address, and after that, I'm very glad to announce Professor Fiebig, CEO of Volkswagen Germany, and he will present his keynote speech on the future of cars and the future of the automotive industry. Thank you very much. Have fun. Enjoy the symposium. And look out for the city. And thank you.
Good.
That's yours?
That's mine.
Okay.
Willkommen in Dresden. Honored attendees and guests from around the world. Guten Morgen und willkommen in Dresden. It is my privilege and pleasure to speak briefly to you this morning and welcome you to this latest gathering of electromagnetic compatibility scientists and engineers. Some of us arrived in Dresden a bit early to find the city celebrating its 807th birthday. For me, at least, coming from the US, it's quite a concept to think of being in a city that is 4 times as old as the country I was born in. The best part of the fair for me, and I dare say for many others, was the spectacular fireworks show on Sunday evening. While the fireworks were clearly not arranged just for the symposium, I thought they were a very good omen at the very start of our event. Most of us spend a lot of time each day working with phenomena that cannot be seen or touched and that are very difficult to explain to our management. And it's a relief for me, at least, to spend a week or so with 700 others who speak the same technical language and share the same technical problems. This is the first year we have entered into a joint symposium arrangement between the EMC Europe organization and the IEEE EMC Society. Last evening at supper, Professor Krauthauser said this joint symposium is an experiment and that we don't yet know how it will turn out. Like any good experiment, we have spent long hours and careful planning how the experiment will be conducted. We identified necessary parameters that could be controlled and made an effort to eliminate those that we could not. We identified specific goals to be achieved, and we will know, judging by the outcome, if the experiment has been successful. At the outset, we have some 30 workshops and tutorials, 15 technical tracks consisting all of multiple papers, 18 experiments and demonstrations, and 3 large poster sessions. We received over 400 technical paper submittals, and of those, we selected 286 high-quality papers for presentation. I have high expectations this experiment will be successful, yielding the results that will form the solid basis of a long and fruitful relationship between our 2 organizations. In addition to the symposium, the 2 organizations have been working diligently to complete a long-term amendment to an existing memorandum of understanding regarding our technical co-sponsorship of the EMC Europe Annual Symposia by the IEEE EMC Society. I am pleased to say we have completed this amendment and we will be co-signing it at this event. This agreement will bring our 2 organizations more closely together over time and help us to collaborate more effectively so that together we can continue to offer quality technical events to the EMC community. On a somewhat different note, I'd like to bring your attention to our forthcoming flagship symposium event taking place next year in Ottawa, Canada, the 25th through the 29th of July. And how do I get back to that? As we did in Raleigh, North Carolina, and again in Santa Clara, California, we will be combining a conference on electromagnetic compatibility with an embedded conference on signal and power integrity. We will have 3 days of high-quality technical papers, 2 full days of practical EMC signal and power integrity workshops and tutorials, a series of experiments and demonstrations on both fundamental and advanced topics, a large and diverse exhibit of new technologies and instrumentation, and of course, ample opportunity for social networking and connection with the unique Ottawa environment. Please join us if you are able for this must-attend event for EMC scientists and engineers at all levels and of all specialties. In closing, I'd like to thank the organizers of this symposium for their very, very hard work, and in particular, I'd like to thank the chair, Professor Hans Krauthauser, and the 2 vice chairs, Professor Jan Luken ter Harsburg and Professor Ralph Vick, for their leadership and foresight in bringing this fine symposium event to the community. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of the International Steering Committee of EMC Europe, I am very honored to welcome you in the beautiful city of Dresden to participate to this very important event, the joint conference between the IEEE EMC Society and the EMC Europe. As you probably know, around the world, there are 3 big technical communities in 3 different regions. I mean, America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. And this joint event is a tentative, I hope successfully tentative, to joint and to short distances between these different communities. As regards the IEEE EMC Society, it is very well known and don't need any presentation. But for EMC Europe, I have prepared a very short presentation. EMC Europe was established in this form in 2010 from the merging of former biennial conferences in EMC held in Europe, EMC Europe, EMC Zurich, EMC Wrocław. As you can see, there are more than 40 years that these conferences are held in Europe, so it's a long history. The main aim of our organization is to organize international events as the conference. Currently, we organize annual symposium around Europe. As you can see, next year we will go to Wrocław in Poland. In 2017, we will go to France in Angers. In 2018, the EMC Europe will be held in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and in 2019 we will come back to Barcelona, Spain. EMC Europe is worldwide recognized for the technical quality of the submitted papers. We received every year a good number of papers, about 300 papers for each edition. And this is very relevant for the EMC community. And this year, due to the joint conference, we have reached the number of more than 400 papers. And so I would like to thank all the authors for this very relevant contribution. And the positive trend of submission is confirmed. And since the papers are very high, it's possible also to have a good technical quality. For instance, in EMC Europe, the average acceptance rate is about 80%. But this year, we arrive more than 75%. This is very important. So, finally, I thank you, all the attendees, authors, speakers, sponsors, exhibitors, and of course, the local organizing committee, the chair, Professor Krauthausen, the technical program chair, Professor Garbe, the vice president, Professor Jalluiken, Frank Sabat, and the other members, and Atist also for his valuable job. And finally, I invite all to attend the next symposium in 2016 in Wrocław. Thank you.
Okay, and now it's a pleasure for me to introduce Professor Fiebig. Professor Fiebig, CEO of Volkswagen Saxony, has a doctorate degree in mechanical engineering, and he's a professor of the University of Applied Science in Wolfsburg, the Westphalia University, right? And yeah, please. Okay. Yeah,
thank you.
Please start with it.
Okay. Good morning and welcome in Dresden. And when I'm standing here, yes, it's a person who is in the stage of the automotive industry. And the reason is we were trying to show you what is the reason we need your know-how and your work for the next futures and our evaluation the next years. Some information to my person, because I'm not only staying here in Sachsen. Volkswagen is an international company, and I was traveling around the world, yes, but without China, they had not enough time allowed to stay there, but on the west side of this Globus. I worked a lot of years in Mexico, Brazil, and in West Europe. 2 hours some dates here in Saxony. We have in Saxony and in our company now an earning after taxes 11.1 billion euros. I produced last year in this whole company 10,200,000 cars, and we have per day 40,000 cars per day. And this is a number while we attack our concurrent, that is Toyota, and we try to get the #1 in the world to build cars. 1 year that is possible, 1 month is possible, it is possible for the whole time, I don't know. That is the reason why we have to need the evolution in our companies and in our industry. We are now 118 plants worldwide. We are nearly 600,000 people. That is one problem of our company. And we have 335 models at this time. Our company is around the world, and I'll give you the information from the beginning is around the world. Our center is Europe, okay. It's Germany, it's okay, but the next companies are staying in Spain, also in the Netherlands, also in Poland and in Russia. In Mexico, now we have 3 companies, and Brazil, we are staying there since 1959. But our main attack at this moment is in China. In China, we have 19 companies at this moment, India 5, and we started now in ASEAN with 5, and we have not to forget our activities in USA. That is very important for us because the second graded market for mobility, that is USA. To us, we are here in Saxony and we have 3 companies. Zwickau, it's in the west of Saxony, Chemnitz and Dresden, you will see this evening. And we produce different parts and different cars in this plant. For example, in the plant in Zwickau, we are building the Passat variant, Golf variant, and bodies for the D-Class, importantly for Bentley. Press parts for the whole company around the world. Chemnitz, it's our engine plant, nearly 3,000 engines per day. And in Saxony, Dresden, the main town, is producing from Phaeton and Bentley flying spur, luxury class, okay? This is one information to our volume the last years and how many people are working. Together in Saxony, we are now at this moment 10,250 people, and you have to multiply this with 4. So many people are directly involved in our companies. When we are working with 10,000 people, 40,000 people are directly involved of this. For example, we have a little company, we are produced for gas and electrical cars, specific cars for the police and for wellness and for healthness, and they are working 100 people with this special know-how. This was only the information for Saxony and our whole great company. For example, I try to give you this chart because in the basic you see the years that we need for our evolution in the last centuries. And you see the last 200 years, yes, it was very, very, very quick, and we have a lot of new information and new technologies. You can see this here, yes, 1900 and now, yes, and so it is an exponential way that we have. That means the technical is running faster, 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 every day, yes, quicker now at this moment, yes, it is very important to find the solutions very quickly. We have not enough time to wait to look what is a possibility and what is the reason why. And our information give you 4 points. Mobility, society, that's very important, energy, and the security and stability. For example, mobility. I give you this chart. It means how many megacities climbed up in the world. You can see the center of megacities now is in ASEAN, yes. For example, when I go to Asia and to China, a city less 8 million people, they are not a lot. Not a lot. The more than 8 million people, and the same problem is in Indian, and the same with South America, and it begins in Mexican, okay? And this chart demonstrates what is the difference in the environmental impacts. You can see in Los Angeles, for example, Dakar, Sacramento, and Bangkok, yes? It's quite different. That is a great task for us, for our economy and our working for the future in the point of mobility. And now at this moment when we go to our clients, what is the end-to-end mobility? When you come to the world, yes, we started with a little car, and later when you are a child, yes, we have a bicycle from Volkswagen, yes, and later, at last, it was also a Volkswagen. We try that all people, our clients, get Volkswagen the whole working lifetime. That is very important for us because the distance mobility and zero emission that is beginning not at this moment. It was nearly 100 years ago. It started with electrical cars, but at this moment it's very important to find out the future. The society. Yes, the society is very different at this moment. Information communication, access and availability anytime and anywhere, that is important for us. For the younger people, very important. If you go through the streets, also the people are going with iPhones and they're looking for what is the actual time at this moment. The older people, they have a problem with this, to follow. But I think the future is coming that that is a normalist way to get any information at any time and anywhere. The demographic change. A lot of people get older, and the problem is to give them the best ergonomic cars and ergonomic Bedienung functions. The demographic change influenced requirements on vehicle. For example, when you go to USA, you need a great function here, because the most people in USA, they have great hands, yes, and they cannot touch the little stocks in German or in the rest of Europe. They need it, it's great. That is very important for the USA. It's quite different in Asia, yes, they need it very small. Our families, the center of families between 1919 and 2015, yes, was family with 2 children and so on, yes. The center of all our doing was the family. In future, we need, and looking for the future, that is heterogeneous. Yes, the family is not only the center from all. The center of society disappears in a patchwork constellation that is nearly found in Europe. That is very important for us to look what is changing with our customers. Energy. You know, the problem with energy, the peak of oil is reached, yes, and we try to change to give the engines a lot of exposures for the futures. Limiting the global warming is a drastic method. You can see this at this graphic. And the green gas emission per capita is coming. We can do what we want, but it's coming. You can see this. At this point, the most countries in the peak of global petroleum production is already passed. That is so. And in your instruction, you cannot read it, yes? But here is a criterion, for example, USA, yes? Is this a blue evolution the next years? And then they stopped with the rest of oil. That is very, very important for us, because our target to look what is the next generation for us, or what we are doing between. For example, diesel and gasoline, yes, until 2030, we think it's only 50%. Natural gas, yes, is greater. Synthetic fuel from natural gas is coming. Sun fuel, that is a great discussion, yes, for eating or something for mobility. That's a social project what we have, yes, and others who we are discussing at this moment, and on the right side you can see it's electrical. And we are coming with electrical that is important for the mega cities and for our cities in Europe. Security and stability. An example from India. I saw this picture, 2006, yes, it was normalist. On this bicycle, engine bicycle, 4 people are standing here, yes? 4. They look for, but we need a car. It's very important for us, but it is this car. The Indian people wants to buy a car, but it must be very, very expensive. It is not possible to buy a German car. For the people, they need a very cheap car. It is important. And for this example, that is Tata. The name is Nano, yes, and I buy this car and bestell it at the North Sea, and after 6 months, yes, it was agreed. It wasn't possible to write on about this. It's not accepted for Europe, okay? The price, that is the hazard at this moment, has become the decisive factor of switching off this car. That is important for our people and our customers in India. Security and stability, okay? Security and stability, you can see this in Europe, yes. It's very normalist market, it's entertainment markets, there's no problem. Crisis area, okay, you can see this in Russia, at this moment in South America, Argentina and Brazil. But the BRIC states are not longer the safe of a bank, yes? That isn't true. It is only one moment, and you can see it changed at this moment very, very quickly. Here is an example, change of passengers, the commercial vehicle markets in the countries. You can see the first market that we have is in China, yes, 1,500,000, and we have nearly 1 million in USA. And you can see how many percent we are on plus. Spain is beginning now, yes, again, but we have a lot of minus, and you can see this in Brazil, Argentina, and Russia, yes. At this moment, the number is quite higher, yes, it's nearly 39%. Complexical, electrical, electronic is the main challenge, your main job. Okay, we are working with parameters of consumption reduction. Mechanical power is the first. The weight is very important. Air resistance, yes. Rolling resistance, electrical load. That is the main parts where we are working at this moment. And at these parts, we need your help and your know-how. It is very important for our electrical load. For example, we started with micro hybrid, yes. It was a very small one, only 3 kilometers. Then it stopped with the electrical way. The same is the mild hybrid. It's only 10, 20 kilometers. Then at this moment we have a lot of full hybrid, and now we are started and we have this in series plug-in. Plug-in hybrid is possible to drive with electrical basis between 40 and 18 kilometers. That is very important for us, because when you drive in the city, you drive electrical. If you go out with auto routes, you drive with mechanicals, and at this moment, the electrical is loading. That is very important, because the car is standing alone and they don't need any other electrical base. You know the name range extender? Yes, that's for example with our concurrents, it's BMW. The same we do with Audi. Yes, we have an electrical machine and a little small one, nearly 2 cylinders, sometimes 3 cylinders. They help when you have no electrical, you can drive with this car in fuels. And we have nearly the rear BEV. We know that is the car nearly with electrical motors. The electrical motors now have reached a distance with 100 and 150 kilometers, and the next, at the end of the year, they will come 300 to 400 kilometers, and we are working with batteries now nearly 500, 550 kilometers. together with climatical and all electrical function. That is very important because Tesla now, that is possible with this car to drive nearly 500 kilometers, but this car needs 100,000 euros, and our Golf only 30,000. Okay. They're reducing at this moment agility and driving pleasure, 3.5 gram CO2 per kilometer, and with the weight reduction, we can reach 8.5. That is very important. Our markets and our models, they will change. Our older colleagues will know in 1974 we have only the Golf, yes? On this basic, yeah, we have built up 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 12 different cars. And the trend of the company for individualization, self-realization, leads to higher education and market segments. That is very important for us to know, because our customers, they don't like to have the same car like the neighbor. They want a different car. And they want another, not only red, not only black. Yes, they have different cars. And the countries are different, and so we have to follow in the companies with flexibility. The traditional markets are set, no increase of volume by expiration. That is really at this moment. Master the complexity of supplying trade is our logistic. And when you see the yellow routes, yes, that's existent supply streams, nearly 1919. Then we have new supply streams. For example, we drive with, I know this word only in German, Trans-Sibirische Eisenbahn between China and Hamburg. That is possible at this moment. And the green one, you can see, and the blue one at this moment is in new supply streams. For us, it was new. In the past, we sell our cars outside of Europe. It was possible. Now, at this moment, the cars are coming back. And so we are now with information around the world. It is not only one directly way. It is around the world and around the time every day. Safety potential for a car. Okay, you know this address, yes, passive safety, and we have active safety, we front assistant, and now we are beginning with the communication car to car. Car to car is one of the news in a solution to realize the new concepts in the mega cities and to get out of the great traffics in our cities. CarNet, example, Volkswagen CarNet, for example. Assistance systems, we have, yes, you can show, okay, where is the distance, what is possible in our back, what is possible in the side of the car. Integration of smartphones and tablets. We realize it at this moment, yes, with the new cars Golf and the new cars Passat at this moment, and the next new Phaeton, yes, you can integrate this all. The vehicle date with vehicle mobility. Okay, I saw this in China. Yes, it was no problem for them to get their smartphone, to pack it in the car, yes, and it's the same function, and the car said, okay, there's a new place for parking, and it costs €2 or $2. No problem. Park assistant, train park it, yes. When you have a key, you get out of the car, you put on the mirror, sides, left and right sides, you put it on, yes, on this key, and the car is going around in this parking place alone. That is possible today. And the next generation of this car will come about this. That is for us very new, because the older people, they don't like this, because they earn the car, and the young people, that doesn't matter, yes? They lease the car. That is so different what we have at this moment. Okay. Digital key, vehicle access to third parties is possible, yes? And at this moment, you can see this for Ford. Here is coming a man, he was swimming and he has no key inside, but the car is looking for his finger, and then the car is starting. This is possible at this moment. They don't need any case. It is possible by personality identification. Diversity of products. For example, our active info display. That is now realized. This is realized in Golf, in Audis, and in Passats. And the next step is coming to our luxury class. Then the modular infotainment, we know that is, we call it MEB2, that is possible with the information between cars and between the markets, between Volkswagen, between Skoda, Seat, and Audi. Head-up display, yes, the head-up display normally function at this moment, but in the next years, it's coming for all our products. It may be on series. Then the various example for interconnection with move devices. Till 10% savings in fuel savings, we are connected when you take this part. Today it's possible when you have your iPhone on your site, and the next step is to put this information inside the car. In Wolfsburg, 500 cars and commuters are trying intelligent mobility in the area of Wolfsburg, because this car, when you're standing at, for example, for a light, a fuel light, they say, I stop. They give the information, go on the left side, and then you can go. The information between this car and the future, sehr gesehen, have to look, it's very interesting, because when you have a problem in the city, you don't have to look. The car is doing this for you. And that is one of the basics with autonomous mobility. Then our new technicals in body and structures. Mixed structures and device of bonding technique. The German words for Lasertechnik, Kleben, für us Falzen, mechanisches Fügen, thermisches Fügen. This is a new advanced for us all together, because we don't know all details in series. We can do this for 10, 12 cars per day, but not for 40,000 per day. And we need this solution to do this in a great series. That is the next. I think here's one for you. On the left side, you can see the existing Phaeton. We have 42 control units. Not more, that's enough. 5 bus systems, yes, and the future is becoming 2017. Yes, you can see this here at this moment, 120 control units, 9 bus systems, yes, doubling amount of data, new bus systems, FlexiRay and most, new diagnosis and interface DOP. It's new for us because we are looking in the car where we have any place for our parts, for our controls, where are our place for this different electrical. That is the future. They will start it. The strategy, high volume and manufacturing. In this evening I have heard you have to go to the Gläserne Manufaktur. That is manufacturing. And the others is high volume. Higher mild range, yes. That is the latest technique individual configuration of products under the best condition. Yes, you know this. Luxury segment, pure luxury, anti-environmental, it's manufacturing. For example, the Golf, the Passat, and the other cars from Volkswagen, Audi, or Skoda or Seat are building on the base of MQB. And the difference is very important for us because manufacturing, it is possible to give every client the information and to give him the information, what do you want to have? For example, this build here, yes, our Asian concurrents, our Asian people, they often like to have this number in this head. This is Volkswagen Group, I call it MQB, in German Modularer Querbaukasten, modular quer. And this modular climbed now in this moment. Warum? Why? That's variable. They identicate for all models. It's all the same. That is variable, yes, and the end is variable. And so the volume is climbing. That is very interesting to produce parts for these cars, because this same construction is, for example, the Golf, the Audi A3, the Skoda, and the Seat Leon the same. And when you have to calculate this in money, the derivation is 4, it's not only 1. That is the reason why we have to do this, okay? The standardization of product and process is important because, and listen to this, our customers are individual. They don't like the same. They want to have another car, another preparation. And we have to follow them with flexibility in our companies. And for example, it's only one information of our companies, where is the material flow and the car flow, and what is the complexity running of the factory. You can see this, for example, and the difference is when you look here, inside of Dresden, the location from the Phaeton and the Bentley, that is very transparent and a lot of glasses. You can see this in this evening. For example, that is the material flow. The ready car is coming in the body shop and was painted from Zwickau or from Crew, and now we have to install it in our stocks, and then after the assembly is beginning, and here our customers following is possible to following this car, and he can change the material when he wants. That's one pictures of this. You can see this in original this evening, yes, and it's a very, very fine houses when you see. The summary. When you see future tracks where we are coming from, our trends and our future where we have to work. And you can see e-mobility, electrical cars, that is one of our futures. Digitalisierung, all information you need in your cars, that is very important for us. Our business models that we need, our business models that we have to change, yes, that is one of our new working that we're inside. Our production in flexibility and the automotive cars, yes, we call it autonomous driving. That is our main task in the futures, in the next months, next years, and we ended with also in the money, yes, that is profitability. It must be an economy. It is not possible, nice to have, but it must be, we can sell it and to pay it. For example, our companies inside in our whole is Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, and Skoda, Bentley, Bugatti, yes, and Lamborghini, Porsche, Ducati, unsere Nutzfahrzeuge, Scanias, and MAN. Summary for some dates. For example, the quantity planned per day, Phaeton nearly 50, Bentley nearly 50, Golf, Passat more than 4,500 per day. Clock cycle, this time per car, 30 minutes, 70 minutes per Bentley, 1 to 2.5 minutes in Golf and Passat. Degree of mechanization, this is a robot inside, is nearly 25%, and with Golf and Passat more than 19%. The varieties, the body varieties, 15, in Bentley only 10, in Golf and in Passat more than 100. That is the difference between manufacturing and high volume. I thank you for your time. Thank you that you are coming here to our city in Dresden. I think it's one of the best places that we have here in Germany, in Europe. Enjoy it. I give you some information where the future is becoming in automotive and mobility industries. And to you, have a nice time here, and thank you for your listening at this day. Have a nice time. Yeah?